We got breaking news this morning. Tom Farley's SPAC Farpeak acquisition announcing it will be merging with crypto exchange Bullish. The deal to take Bullish public on the New York Stock Exchange. It values Bullish at $9 billion. Tom joins us now with the details. As of the deal's close, Tom will be the CEO of Bullish. Also joining us, Brendan Bloomer. He is the founder of blockchain company Block One and incoming chairman of Bullish. But great to have you both. Tom, I'll start it off with you. Why Bullish? And as I understand it, Bullish is not actually an operational exchange right now. In a few weeks, you'll be launching a pilot program. So what do you see about Bullish that made it so attractive?
Hi, Melissa and Joe. Good morning. As you probably know, certainly Joe, from all of our conversations, I've been figuratively bullish on digital assets since 2012 and made an investment of about $10 million on behalf of the New York Stock Exchange into a very successful digital asset exchange, and have remained bullish for the past decade, or most of the past decade. And today, I'm quite literally bullish. I'm very excited. There's an interesting business plan here to combine what's best of centralized exchanges with the most interesting innovations in what's referred to as DeFi, and specifically the liquidity pools or automated market makers in DeFi. And we have a unique offering in that respect. Brendan has a team of 300, mostly tech geniuses, who have been working on this, first as an idea around about 3 years ago, but now as an actual product for a couple of years. And we're excited to bring it to life here in the coming weeks and months.
Again, it's going to come to life. So when it does come to life in this pilot program, Tom, what do you think you'll discover? What are you hoping to see at that point? And why do this transaction even prior to the pilot program?
You know, Melissa, I've been around exchanges a long time, and the number one thing traders look for, and in particular institutional traders, is reliable, predictable liquidity. And I give Brendan a lot of credit. I mean, he's an inspiring entrepreneur and just a smart guy. And he and his team came up with this concept of taking the liquidity pools in DeFi that provide this more reliable liquidity and turbocharging it with a $9 billion balance sheet, which is roundabout the balance sheet that we'll have day one when this business closes. I mean, for your viewers, this is an opportunity to invest early in a digital asset market structure business. I believe it has a lot of rewards. I'm going in as CEO of this business full time. Certainly, any business with significant potential rewards also has significant risks, and I encourage your viewers to study those as well. But I think this is a big idea as time has come. Look, I've said this before. Digital assets are here to stay. The smartest engineering talent is going into digital assets. Digital assets are solving very important problems. Anybody who tells you they know exactly how it's going to turn out is lying or delusional. But in general, you're going to see more and more interesting use cases, more and more dollars go into the space, and being able to provide predictable liquidity with a $9 billion balance sheet and teaming up with this visionary entrepreneur who I referred to feels like a really great opportunity to me.
Brendan, how should viewers view Bullish in relation to the companies they may be more familiar with, like a Coinbase or Binance, et cetera?
Yeah, so Bullish is really focused on passing a lot of the beneficial interest to those that actually provide the underlying liquidity that creates the network effects of exchanges. As Tom mentioned, we're combining kind of the market architecture of DeFi-based concepts and bringing that to the high-performance central limit order book. So we're kind of bringing together the third-party bids and asks you would normally find on traditional centralized exchange, but then augmenting it with that deep liquidity that acts as a portfolio rebalancing function for those that are depositing into them. So the whole space is really converging around this concept of automating and integrating rent-seeking layers and driving value back up to those that create the network effects of these platforms. And then that's exactly what we're trying to do here with Bullish, but in a regulated and compliant environment where big institutions and advanced retail can feel that their capital is safe and they're not in possession of any other types of money that they don't want to be in possession of.
Brendan, why go public? Why go public via SPAC? And I ask this question in light of what Tom has said to us before, and he has said, and this I believe is a quote, an approximate quote, the crypto world has created a backdoor to IPOs. I don't see why an ordinary, he said non-blockchain company such as Plaid can't simply just list an ERC-20 Ethereum compliant governance token, skip the whole pain of going public. Was that ever a thought in your mind, Brendan, that there was a way of raising money without using the traditional financial markets?
Absolutely, and it's a great question. As you mentioned, the crypto thesis is all about allowing people to have economic exposure to the projects that they're associated with. And so that was really important to us, and that's why we're going public simultaneous with our launch. When it comes to why did we choose to actually do this on the NYSE as opposed to just issue a token, there's a lot of regulatory uncertainty around the status of some of these tokens, which creates some jurisdictional hurdles and exclusions of certain types of parties, and a lot of just regulatory uncertainty for the company, but also the investors. So we thought that this was a tried and true avenue that would unlock new types of capital for the business, but give retail investors the most protections and access to holding a piece of our company.
Tom, in terms of investor base, who are you hoping are the investors? I mean, I had a stock strategist on the other day, Julian Emanuel from BTIG, and one of his favorite areas in the market was crypto-related equities. There aren't too many of those around. Coinbase is the one that you think of, and I asked Brendan about that. But should Bullish exist in that sort of bucket?
You know, in terms of the types of investors we hope to attract, they're the same investors we already have attracted, Melissa. So as part of the transaction, not only are we bringing our $600 million that's cash and trust in our SPAC with really great investors, but we also raised an additional $300 million pipe, and that includes kind of a who's who of investors, many of whom we've named in the press release. For example, BlackRock, Galaxy Digital, many of whom are Bullish investors, including many luminaries and institutions. So we feel like we've already attracted, and it's because of exactly what you just cited, Melissa. There just aren't a lot of opportunities to get exposure to kind of adult, well-run, compliant companies that care about carrying themselves the right way. And that was one of the first things that impressed me about Brendan. Just, you know, he has the right Big Four auditors and law firms and bankers, and, you know, the banks he had on this transaction, JP Morgan, Jefferies, Nomura, coupling with my friends at Wells Fargo and Avidity. It's really just kind of a good kind of a good mix that creates a trusted company that will attract quite a bit.
Tom and Brendan, we've got to leave it there. Thanks so much.